A warm welcome to IGNOU. If you are creative, if you can write well, and if you can visualize, mass communication is the correct career option for you. I am going to talk about postgraduate diploma in journalism and mass communication, which is also the first year of MA program in journalism and mass communication. So any learner who has done a postgraduate diploma in journalism and mass communication is eligible.
Namaskar. Today again we are starting with a new session, and the topic for today's session that we will be discussing is on children's voices. Are they victims of circumstances or crime? So this is a very important subject that we would like to discuss, and this particular topic is very much relevant for us because this topic, it finds its place in our course as well as the program that we are offering from School of Social Work, that is Bachelor's in Social Work and Master's in Social Work. And this particular topic has a direct relevance, especially in the course titled MSW E002, that is Women and Child Development, and MSW 032, that is Criminal Justice System. So these are some of the reference and the context why we have decided to have a topic of this importance and which also reflects in these courses. And today with us we have Mrs. Vaidehi Subramani ji, and she is not only associated with IGNOU, but she is also associated with child rights and child protection. She has done extensive work in these areas, and we are really glad to have you, ma'am, with us for today's session. And it becomes, it's also our simple word of appreciation from our school to introduce you to the larger audience. And I take this honor to introduce you for this session. Mrs. Vaidehi Subramani ji, she has done extensive work in not only in the area of child rights and protection and advocacy sector, but also she has done extensive work in the area of disability sector also. And she has almost put in 12 years of her service in both these sectors. She was also a former chairperson, Child Welfare Committee, CWC, and former member, JJB, Juvenile Justice Board. And she is also a certified POCSO trainer. POCSO, I believe you must be knowing, it's Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. So she is a trained, she's very well trained in this particular act. And apart from that, she is a professional social worker, and she has been associated with IGNOU as an academic counselor. And I remember her, like our association with Madam, since when we had a IGNOU Study Center at Akshay Pratishthan, where she took proactive measures to establish that center. And since then, she has been on board of IGNOU, especially supporting our students, particularly in the field work. And apart from that, she also has a deep interest in studies of scriptures. And this is one area where I always have an interaction with her about, with so much of issues that you deal with day in and day out with children. How do you cool yourself to be with peace with yourself, because the kind of issues that deals day in and day out. So her response was that she strongly believes in the scriptures, and that's where she finds a kind of solace to contextualize and that keeps her at peace, especially after confronting and facing so many issues that she deals with children. So apart from, she also has a very interesting aspect of her personality, that she is fond of traveling and she is also a globetrotter. And with this introduction, I would like to welcome you for this session, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And today we will try to address some of the key issues which is very pertinent when it comes to the children. And as the title clearly says, we are talking about children's voices. So it is, usually we see that who represents the children? They are voiceless, basically. And they don't have, they cannot represent themselves because they are children. And if there are issues and there are challenges and there are concerns, then how do we address these issues and how this can be brought into forefront, so that as we know that today's children are tomorrow's citizens of this nation, citizens, and not only citizens, but they are the building blocks of our future society and the nation. So a healthy children will bring about, will define what your future nation is going to be. So within this context, I would also like to place on record basic statistics which we could find. I would like to share for the viewers that as per the National Crime Records Bureau, NCRB, there were a total of 31,170 cases registered against children in conflict with law in India in the year 2021. And this figure was a kind of like, this was when we got into the when we broke this data, we came across a majority of these children, that is almost 76.2%, were in the age group 16 to 18 years of age. So this gives the enormity of this issue that we are dealing with. And so therefore it is very important, it's really important for us to discuss and to understand and kind of demystify what actually is happening, especially when we are talking about child rights, protection and rehabilitation of these children. So when we talk about children, the usual perception that comes into our picture is about a healthy child, a child which is taken care by the parents or with their grandparents. It's a healthy home, kind of a scenario. It usually, the visuals that comes to our mind is this. But apart from this, there are also certain real life situations where, circumstances where we find the children are in need of protection as well as they are in conflict with law. So these are some of the issues that today we are going to discuss. And aptly, I would say, Vaidehi ji, we will be kind of diving deep into these issues to look into some of the practical aspects of how to deal with these kind of children, and what are the measures that we have in terms of the legal aspects, and the institutions and stakeholders who are involved in redressing and providing rehabilitation kind of things. And the model that we are talking about is not the retribution model, but we are talking about the retribution model and not the kind of punishment or something like that. So some of these aspects we will cover, and so without taking much time, I would like to start this discussion by practically looking at certain aspects which we confront in every day, and we ignore them without even taking into cognizance. As for example, we have seen when we are passing by, or when we see children who are unattended and who are abandoned, or probably they are seen in the railway stations, and we think that this is a kind of a normal kind of a thing. But we have never asked this question, whether this child is safe, whom we see is all alone, and the child is left all alone, and whether this child is it's an abandoned child, or a child who is in the street, how safe this child. So when these questions arise, what as a common man or a common person one has to do? So this is this question, it is quite nobody actually addresses. So I would like, ma'am, for your thoughts about, if at all we come across an abandoned child, or a child in the street, or in the railway station, or anywhere, who is not being taken care, is all alone, what is our initial reaction? Like, we just ignore this fact. So, but when we go deep and dissect this issue and see, there are different kind of scenarios that can arise. Can you throw some light on this, ma'am?
Yeah. So at the outset, I thank IGNOU and Dr. Mahesh for having me here, sir. And you have given a very elaborate introduction about me. Thank you very much for that. And you have given me a scenario where the child is being unattended at either a railway station or a bus stop, and all. We also try to go away from that also. But when a child is abandoned at any place, there is no one to attend to it. The child comes in the children in need of care and protection. The child requires basic requirements. The child requires a shelter and a protection, and definitely protection from any abuse or any crimes also. And so I can see present it in 3 or 4 scenarios also, this child.
Okay.
So since we are going to deep dive into juvenile justice and adult children who are coming into the system also. Number 1, first case, when I can start with a positive note.
Okay.
If a child is being found like that, there are helplines any citizens can call. 112 is a helpline. Previously we had a child line. Now it's an integrated protection line we have, 112.
Okay.
Any person can call that line, and we don't have to worry about our identity or anything also.
Mm-hmm.
Within 10-15 minutes, the police person or district child protection unit or somebody will be available to take the child, and that child will be produced before the child welfare committee.
Mm-hmm.
And before producing the child welfare committee, the child will also undergo certain medical examination, whether the child is being abused or child has any other problems, any health issues. Then the child will be produced in the child welfare committee. The child welfare committee is the main stakeholder for the children who are in care and need and protection as per section 214 of Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act. Then the enquiry will start for the child, and if the child is say below 6 years, then the child will be placed initially in the specialized adoption agencies. So because we have various categories of shelter home to keep such children, and we have boys home, we have a girls home, so the age segregation is also there. Then we'll try to talk to the child, we'll inform who are the parents and things like that. If the child is able to communicate very well the house or whatever the way from the child has come, whether he is separated while traveling in the journey, in the bus or in the train, then if the child is able to give all the details, the concerned welfare officer will be able to contact the family. Then the parents will be appearing before the child welfare committee. Then after due inquiry, after doing other further formalities, whether they are really true parents or anything, and if the child is also willing to go with the parents, because we take, there are a lot of principles in the Juvenile Justice Act that we have to get into. Right to participation is one of the main principles of the Juvenile Justice Act. Of course, best interest is there, and family responsibility is also there. So we try to talk to the child is also willing, then the child will be handed over to the parents, and the child will be reunited, and 1 or 2 follow-up will be able to do it, so that the child again will not separate from the family or anything. This is sort of a first scenario that I can present it as a positive case. Suppose the same child who is not able to talk, he may be a child with a disability, you can say,
Right.
and if the child is not able to communicate whatever it is, then there are, we take the investigation authorities' help also. We try to paste Gumshuda posters wherever the child is being found. And we also cross-check whether is there any FIR in any police station of the such kind of child being missing given by the parents. And there are portals like Koya Paya and all available in the Women's Development Department also. And there are missing portal, child portal is there.
Okay.
So everything will be uploaded and we'll be watching the progress. Suppose the child is being found in the police station, in the railway station, we try to take the child for a spot visit, how he can recognize or anything. Suppose the child is not able to communicate. So in that case, we try to find the families and we'll keep some time, and then we'll be proceeding further also. But in some situation, if the child is not able to give any details, we are not able to find the parents or anything, then in that case, we have stipulated period for declaring the child legally free for adoption. So that will be placed in the, that process will be starting. So somewhere the family will be missing the child will be languishing in the child welfare, child care institution or in the SAW institution. So then that will be a very, very disheartening only. But in that case, the child will be, after due process, after all the process has been exhausted of searching the family is done, and there is no other option, when the police has also given an untraced report to the Child Welfare Committee, then the child will be declared as legally free for adoption.
So in this case, this scenario which you are talking about, where when compared to the previous case of a positive kind of a note where the child is reunited with the family, but still the child is safe under the hands of the state agencies.
Yes.
Because a child is more vulnerable when he or she is left not attended.
Yes.
So in that scenario, this scenario, although she is the child is unable to speak or for whatever reason is not able to communicate, and but it has come to the knowledge of the agencies.
Yes, it has become a state responsibility.
Okay.
So it's a state responsibility. Then we have to go. There are a lot of procedures and protocols are involved. That has to be taken care of before we declare the child as legally free for adoption. So once the child is legally free for adoption is done, then that will be put in the CARA portal. Then the child might go for the adoption cases only.
Okay.
Suppose if it's a third scenario, if I'm going to say in the same abandoned child, there are a lot of bad elements in the society also, who works as stars or who works as a bad element in the society. So in that case, they try to take the child because they will be looking for such children in the crowded area also.
Okay.
So then they take the child and the child becomes a commodity and it will be sold also. That will be a very unfortunate situation. The fourth scenario will be the child, suppose he is a 5 or 6 years old boy, is not able to do anything. That may go into the wrong hands of making him to either for begging or any other child labor cases or any other crimes will be happen to the child also.
Okay. So a simple scenario which we thought that a child is abandoned, so it is how we can rescue this child. You have given almost some 4 or 5 kind of scenarios. So depending upon where the child, whom the child first of all meets, if it is a good Samaritan who is who takes a phone and just, you said what is the number?
112. Our viewers can be noting this.
Yeah.
So it doesn't call it. Everybody has got telephone in their hand nowadays. So if you want to do a good job, and I won't do a good job, it's our duty also. If any child is unattended, we can talk to him and find out, then call 112.
No, this fear is always there that, okay, if I make the call, my identity, tomorrow the agency should not question me that how did you come to know about this child, and I should not be put to unnecessary troubles. So this thought always blocks people from becoming that good Samaritans, right?
Yeah, but actually no need. Actually, you will not be called for any witness or anything only. And because this child is only care and need and protection only.
Okay.
So it will be produced because anyway the police is also available in a railway station or bus station or anything also. So they are there to, for prevention of crimes also, investigation authorities are there. So if by calling 112, no people will be put into trouble.
Okay.
So simple phone call can do good for the child.
Okay. So this whole idea of the legal systems or the agencies or the Good Samaritans kind of action, it is trying to help a child who is left for himself or herself to come under some kind of a protection.
Yes.
Who is taken care, whose needs are addressed. It might be short-lived because the child would have run away from home or probably missed. Probably during this festive season, there is a lot of lost and found.
Yes. I remember we used to, when I was in Child Welfare Committee, this Navratri season, I must definitely say, the Kalkaji temple is there. So it's 24 hours the temple runs for Navratri days. So there are a lot of crowd comes. They bring even as 3 months old babies also they bring it.
Okay.
So and sometimes they keep it. They go for taking water or anything. 6 months baby or 1 month baby or 2 years old baby also. And in the entire crowd, no, they are somewhere meandered somewhere. The child is being sent. So that is why we had sort of a prevention desk at that time with Kalkaji, with the collaborative team of people, like Childline at that time was there. I'm talking about 2015 to 18 that we were conducting it. So we had taken the help of the Kalkaji police stations. The Childline was there. We had IGNOU students were also placed at 24 hours. So they were doing like sort of a duty over there. And every 10 feet we used to keep the people. So that we were regulating the crowd, and wherever the child is being missed, we try to inform them over the mic, such and such a child is available here. Then people also can come. If you have got any problem, you can come and approach the help desk. So in that case, you will not believe, sir, we have every Dasara season, every Navratri season, one will be held in March and one will be held in September. So we used to reunite more than 300 to 400 children in the 10 days time. So imagine if that help desk is not there, those children will be languishing only in the childcare institutions. So if nothing is available, they are not even coming into the adoptable pool. So imagine a child of 8 or 9 year old child. So they are not able to communicate, they are not able to find the family or anything. The child may not go for adoption stages because the two become too late for the adoption. So in that case, the child will continue to stay in the childcare institution till 18 years, and aftercare program is also there. So then that is a big, what do you call it? It's a big harm given to the child.
Right.
Because in Juvenile Justice Act, we speak about institution is a last resort. But here the child, just because separated from the family, the child is only in the institution care. So that is very sad part of the.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So this is one scenario which we had discussed where the child is abandoned and who is in need of care and protection. And you had very well highlighted different kind of possibilities and how if it is in if a right kind of a person comes to know about this situation and he takes the right decisions, how the child can be reunited or rehabilitated back to the family, because a child is definitely safe only in a family. And also you also mentioned about a scenario where sometimes the child abandons the home for the fear of for fear or for ill treatment of their parents, and
Yes.
that could also be, but that's where when the rehabilitation process happens, when the planning takes place, all this is studied in detail about whether the child is comfortable going back and rehabilitate back into the family, or the child feels kind of unsafe, and if the perpetrators are within the family, so this becomes
An issue. So
yes.
we have processed like a social investigation report. So we also talked, there are counselors available in all the childcare institutions.
Okay.
So if a child is coming from a trauma related from a house, then the trauma informed counseling will also be given to the child. And at any point, at any stage of the child's progress in the situation, child's interest is kept as center.
Okay, this
That
is one of the
principles.
principles. Okay.
And we always see what is the best interest of the child. Suppose if the home is not safe, the child has purposely ran out of the situation and making herself or himself staying in the station or any bus stop, then in that case reunited may not be of a possible option at the first instance. So we need to work with the child, what made the child to run away from the home. So that has to be found, what we call social investigation report. No, we talk to the family, so how the family is settled and what are the other factors that is affecting the child. So whether the school the child is not comfortable, or the any in friend circle the child is not comfortable, or is there any other element that pushing the child to go out of the house. So that will also be considered. So along with that social investigation report, the entire process we call inquiry as per the JJ Act. We do that, and we also make individual child care plan. So once a child is coming to system, the first 15 days we make the ICP, we call individual child care plan. So at that time, the child's needs and child's trauma will be something different. Once a child stays for a while in the institution care, and the child really opens up, then her care, her progress, her child care plan will be something different.
Okay.
So suppose a child purposely came up to the family, then we try to call the family people, we make them meet in the CWC, and we'll try to find out whether the family also requires counseling. Sometimes it may be an abusive domestic violence at the home also. The child may not be wanting to be staying there also. So in that case, family counseling is also provided. The child counseling is also provided. So because at any stage, no institution is the last resort. So and family responsibility is also a very important aspect of Juvenile Justice Act. So and any child requires a family. So even a 7-star childcare institution also will not replace the family. So family is the real thing for the child. So especially at the formative stage, in the growing stage, for a holistic development, the child has to be nurtured in a family.
Okay. So before moving on to an interesting aspect about the children who are in the age group 16 to 18 years, and there are certain issues, we'll take a small break, and we want to come back again to discuss on these important aspects. And we hope the learners are intrigued and they are keeping a watch about this session, which is very interesting, and we will be learning more about after this break. Yeah, thank you.
Do you wish to be part of a television studio like this or any other media system? Or already part of any media system, want to enhance a new set of skills? Welcome to School of Journalism New Media Studies. Here in the School of Journalism New Media Studies, we are offering program for all set of people to learn and enhance their media skills. The vision of School of Journalism and New Media Studies is to generate a new set of professionals in the area of media and communication studies with understanding about role of media in the national development and global understanding. We offer innovative programs in the field of journalism and mass communication that sets the benchmark of high quality learning and teaching process at the national level. We offer these programs across the country with the help of our regional network as well as study center. Same manner, many of our programs are offered through online mode with a sophisticated learning management system. SOGNMS offers programs from PhD in journalism and mass communication till certificate level. We have masters in journalism and mass communication. The eligibility is a bachelor's degree, and we are introducing this program in 3 languages: Hindi, Tamil and English. Students from national and international students can join either through online mode as well as in the distance mode. We have 4 postgraduate diploma programs, specialized areas in the field of development communication, digital media, electronic media and journalism and mass communication program. And all these 4 programs are available in distance mode. 2 programs are available in online mode, development communication and digital media. And we have specialized certificate program in community radio. IGNOU employs various media and communication tools for better teaching and learning process. School of Journalism and New Media Studies utilizes this media system for delivering all our programs. Come and join with us for exploring a new career and enhance your media skills.
Welcome back. In the first part of the session, we discussed about how a child who is abandoned and the different kind of scenarios that Madam clearly talked about, how we can the child can be reunited with the family, and also there are instances where the child can be, if not attended or if not addressed at the right time, can also be a victim into the hands of say the criminal elements. So apart from this, we would also like to discuss about some of the interesting cases of children, especially in the age group of 16 to 18 years. Like we often hear about the debate on whether 16 to 18 years old should be tried as adults in heinous crimes or offenses. So, Madam, can you narrate any such case from your experience, particularly under this age group, 16 to 18 years, because they are not adults, but the crime that they have perpetrated, it's of heinous in nature. So, whether they will be given the benefit of doubt as a child or will be treated as an adult.
Yeah. Actually, in the previous section, we have been talking about children in need of care and protection. I think you have come to now children in conflict with law. So maybe I can do case scenarios
sure,
with you.
Sure, that will help us to understand the issue better, right?
Yeah. So first we'll talk about a child who has committed a heinous offence. So we must first of all understand what is heinous offence for the viewers also. In Juvenile Justice Act, we have three types of offences. One is a petty offence, and second one is a serious offence, and third one is a heinous offence. So the petty offence is just like even jumping the red light is a petty offence, or stealing a mobile, it's a petty offence. So heinous offence, serious offence is like attempt to murder, that becomes a serious offence. Then heinous offence, by general understanding, a rape is a heinous offence, and murder is a heinous offence, abduction all heinous offence. In technically, if you call less than 3 years of punishment, that becomes petty. 7 years then becomes serious, and more than 10 years it becomes a heinous offence. The children who commit, alleged to have been committed the heinous offence. In first case scenario, what we talk about Romeo-Juliet cases. We talk the children's age as 18 years only. But the same child who has allegedly fallen in love and have a physical sexual relationship, and that he may impregnate the girl, or he would have eloped with the girl also. It may be of section 363 or previous, no BNS is affecting. Or he will end up in the POCSO Act only.
Okay.
So, but we say 18 years is the age of child. But one child is being treated in the Juvenile Justice Board, where the child in conflict with law who was alleged to have committed the heinous offence. The victim is now held in the Child Welfare Committee as a victim of the offence. So generally in the POCSO cases, and in my experience, in the per day cost list in the Juvenile Justice Board, if you see, about 60% of the cases will fall in this category. That means the children who are in the adolescent stage, they have the sexual exploration, and now that everything is in access among them with the mobile. So that is also another big issue. And children as early as 10 years also started looking in many things also. Those things were not under control of anybody. The mobile is at home and it's all very much visible also. So such children who comes in 16, 18 years, the Juvenile Justice Board has the option whether to treat him as a child or to treat him as an adult. So section 15 was introduced in 2015 Act. That section 15 says under 3 conditions the Juvenile Justice Board will deal a child who is alleged to have committed the heinous offence in the age group of 16 to 18 years. Whether the child has got the physical capacity, the child has got the mental capacity to do the crime, or the child knows the consequences of the crime.
Okay.
So these things, what we call preliminary assessment, will be done by the psychologist or the social workers. Mainly psychologists will conduct the preliminary assessment. That the board will review or analyze the report along with the social investigation report, which we talked in the earlier session.
Right.
And along with the SBR in child in conflict with law, police will prepare social background report of the child.
Okay.
Whether this child has committed any other previous offence,
Okay.
or the child family has any sort of a history.
So
previous history or anything. That may not have much weightage, but still it can give some indication whether the child was also somewhere victims of circumstances. Yeah. So that not necessarily he would have committed the offences. Whether the child would have been a victim of circumstances.
So again, the law is trying to look at that child also, that probably the circumstances could have
made him to do that also.
That kind of thing. Okay.
So when we are talking this POCSO cases, normally these children are retained in the Juvenile Justice Board and they are tried as children only. But if the case is of very heinous, any other gruesome act has been done along with that, then that is a different scenario.
Okay.
Okay, then the board has to take the cognizance on how it is viewed. And in board also, one is a principal magistrate who is from the judicial officer side, and 2 members are social members. So the weightage has been given to the social members, I would say rather. So we have to study the holistic perspective, whether the child has, because the purpose of JJ Act is, Prime Act is only for the rehabilitation only.
Rehabilitation.
So we have to save the child, and we must do proper rehabilitation for the child so that he becomes a good citizen tomorrow. So then he becomes, he will start working towards his rehabilitation. He will also form part of the entire process. So that is one scenario.
So it is not punishment, it is basically...
It's a rehabilitation and reformation only.
The primordial
yes.
approach.
Yeah. Suppose the same child has come into, because there are a lot of now debate has been going on in these POCSO cases, the child being criminalized. So we want to do, the child should not be criminalized in that act. Because sexual urge or whatever urge, it is a human psychological perspective, or human needs, or basic needs of that. So we have to see the child in a very different lens, not through the criminal lens. So that is an idea. Where a child has committed, alleged to have been committed an heinous offense like murder, that also then our perspective will not change. And we also have to see whether it is, he is also a victim of circumstances. Today, before I coming to this program, I saw in the morning one case in Delhi only. So the child, along with his father, has alleged to have been committed an offense. He was apprehended. He is just turning 18 years tomorrow. So there, the father has instigated. The father also has certain criminal background. The father made the child to do the Reiki and things like that. As per paper I am going, and I don't know full details also. So father, along with the father, the child has committed it. Then in that case also, it is not child's problem. Child is nowhere at fault, because it is the well-being what the parenting is giving to the child. So if we see at that child at that particular point also, again we have to do the preliminary assessment, and we have to go through all the procedures and see that we try to rehabilitate the child, because up to 18 is a child only. Even scientifically also, the plasticity, the brain grows till 21 also. Because why we call them child? Because they do not know what is right and what is wrong. The rationalism, they cannot get it. They may not have that much understanding of the crime situation also. They may not know, the discriminative power may not be there for the child.
Okay.
So I can quote one more example where a boy and a girl, a sibling, so they have abducted a child of an infant and asking for ransom money from the family. So that's again a heinous offense only. So the preliminary assessment was done, and the child, of course, we got the child recovered back. There was no damage happening. Okay. Everything. The child was recovered from this thing. When we interact with the child, both the siblings, we come to know only the poverty was the main reason. So they have seen some web serial, and they wanted to, if they do this act, if they're going to do the asking for ransom money, I'll get the money, then I will be able to study well. So they were in 11th and 12th standard children. They were very bright. So they are in the acute poverty, but they wanted to have a good life, and they thought, if I have money, I will be able to do it. So the intention was not very thing. They wanted to come up in life. Maybe the method what they have taken was not correct. So then when we asked the family and everybody, there were only 2 children in the family, these 2 only. And if I am going to, if the board is take the decision of sending both of them to the adult court, what will happen to the family? So each case and each circumstances makes huge impact, and Juvenile Justice Act acts only for the children's best interest. The agencies who are working for children, whether it is a child welfare committee or juvenile justice board, will always keep best interest as the main principle of working. So very rarest of rare cases only are sent to adult court, or we call the children's court. So in the children's court also, again they have the option to retain the child as child and proceed further also. Otherwise they will proceed him as an adult.
Yeah. Okay.
So very handful cases only goes from the JJBs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a very interesting scenario, as you said, in the case of in the case of POXO.
Yeah.
And one person is treated under JJB, and the other person is kept under CWC.
Yeah.
And you clearly explained how it is, and these kind of dilemmas, ethical dilemmas, are always coming. And in order to, and you also rightly said that we have to go case by case, and there is no one set formula as such. And especially when you talked about the sibling case, and you said how the children get influenced with
social medias and digital
exposure
platforms.
to digital medias or social media, and their intention was to how they can come out of this poverty.
Yes.
And this is what is being also depicted widely in the although there is certification which says that the viewership details are given that 13 years or 15 years or 16 years, but when there is content is available, so there is no the kind of restriction is not there where anyone has access to these kind of contents, and that consumption of these contents somehow misplaces their well-being or their thought process about what they are seeing is almost close to reality, and therefore they just simply follow those.
Because that is why we have increase in teenage pregnancies like West. As early as 12 years and 13-year-old children are getting pregnant also.
Okay.
So they may be victims of circumstances, but mostly all driven through social media. Many children fall into prey of these heinous offense. The children fall into prey of that. So when we talk about the reproductive health and health of the child, do we have to work for the victims or do we have to work for the alleged children? So that is really a tough situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even because of this too much of consumption of digital content and social media presence, it is like a double-edged sword where one can also, we have heard about in COVID times how the same digital content people have enhanced their skills and things like that, and it has taken them to leaps and bounds. On the other hand, when these kind of contents are misplacing their judgment and also putting a tremendous stress on parents, especially when how to handle these kind of scenarios, especially the parents are having a tough time.
Definitely, because now the digital children have mobiles, and we cannot restrict them what you can see and what you cannot see also. So previously in those days the TVs will be off during the examination and everything. Now we have, then one stage came, every room had a TV at the house. Now it has come, everyone has got the mobile. And there is no, as you said, protection of what content it can be played. That is also not there. And that impacts many children, and their energy is also wasted in a wrong way also, I would say. And because the children, when you're now talking about mobile, it is not only in the POCSO cases, children use for the betting and online addiction for games and so many other things also related. Many children fall into prey because of that also.
Yeah, that really impacts their mental health and
mental health and physical
health. That is
health.
becoming a very big issue these
very
days.
Big issue among the children, because I go for schools for sessions on children. So I come to know many children are addicted to the mobiles and things like that. So it's a problem. It's a very great problem.
Okay. So when we, on one hand, we talk about children who are voiceless, at the same time, the foundation of our argument, how we safeguard or protect the children and keeping their innocence and not judging them. And as you rightly mentioned, as also in JJ Act, there are certain core principles.
Yeah, principle of innocence, the first one.
So I would like to, if you could reiterate those principles, so that our learners can also and viewers can also understand the importance of what has been clearly mentioned as principles in JJ Act.
Actually, in JJ Act, the principles have been laid down. On that premise only the JJ Act has been made, I would say. So number one, as you said, it's a principle of innocence. So even a child who's allegedly committed or anything also, I must believe that child first. And in a POCSO case also, if a child comes and tells the parents, this has happened, my teacher has done like that, or my music teacher has done like that, or my tuition teacher has done like that, we should not hush it up, we must start believing the child. So that we have to accept and we have to believe the child also. And the second principle is best interest. And best interest and beyond best interest we talk nowadays. So the best interest is always from the child's perspective.
Okay.
So in the elopement case, we generally call between 16 and 18, the girl would like to go with the alleged boy only. But we are not here to tell them this is correct or wrong, that is correct. And because it may be different religion, different caste and different status of these things only. So the parents will say from one angle, the girl's side will see one angle, the boy's side will see one angle. So we have to have, as agencies like Child Welfare Committee or anything, we must take a stand and we must do the best interest from the child's point of view. That is one thing. Then family responsibility. So India has signed UNCRC, we are all signatories for that. All that is there, but family responsibility is the main thing. And the family should also take the responsibility, because many times we hear the children's cases, in adolescent stage, the children don't listen to the parents. So they try to come to Child Welfare Committee, you keep the children in child care institution and isko seedha karo. So we are not here for disciplining the child. With CWC or only for the care, need and protection only. So the family responsibility is the main responsibility. And many children, we have not touched the topic of children who are into consumption of drugs also. So when we talked about children in conflict with law, many children come into that forum because of the disrupted family or because of drug abuse and because of the bad environment among friends, peer pressure, so many things only. So these are family responsibility have to take place to keep the child in a nurturing environment and things like that only. And the things is principle of diversion we do talk about in the children in conflict with law. So it is okay, the child has done some committed some offense, and we have to we can't going on grilling on that. So we have to proceed further. We must try to divert the child to put him into further education or put him into vocational skills and things like that, and allowing with going with the probation officer for continuity and not keeping them in the special home or anything. So the principle of diversion is there. And right to participation is the very big principle. At every stage, we must consult the child, what the child requires. So you say, talking about voices, we must hear that voice. So the hearing the voice, healing the voice, and healthy children we must have it.
Okay, it's
So
very well said. You
yeah.
said that participation is a very
Very
important
important. We must,
principle.
because
where-
we started with the voices of children.
Correct.
Unless we hear, because what adults speak, aise kar rahe, usse kar rahe, parents might say. But I want to know what the child speaks about it. So that hearing is very important, whether at home or at school or at any institutions or at any agencies like JJB or CWC or DCPU. We must give the child a voice. We must ask the child to speak out, right to participation. The child will have, then only the child will have a clarity of what he wants and what he doesn't want. So that is very much, right to participation is a biggest principle that is embedded in the Juvenile Justice Act.
Actually, that is what is the challenge I am seeing, especially in today's parenting also. The participation is missing.
Yes.
And because of this, there is a lot of communication gap. And this leads to...
Child start hiding also. If
many things.
That's why when the participating parenting is not there, or participating parenting is not at the institution level, we start assuming, we start planning for the child. So I must consult the child before what the child wants to do it.
Correct.
That is very
so
important.
whether it is a career options, or whether it is taking any the disciplines of children's interest, or even the smallest of things like a child interested in going for sports or extracurricular activities.
Exactly. That's why we have the evolving capacity. You have brought in nice points, sir. Because each child has got different capacity. So what we call evolving capacity. A child who is born in a metro, a child born in a rural area, different capacity. The child going to public school will have different capacity. A child going to a corporation school will have different capacities. So when agencies who are dealing with the children, we must see what is the evolving capacity of the child. That is very important. Otherwise, no, we cannot, I say one size doesn't fit everyone. So I must understand the child's capacity, then only we'll be able to progress further.
Correct. And this will also help in terms of when we are talking about capacity, we are also talking about skills, life skills.
Exactly.
So this is where the connect comes of
the rehabilitation also starts.
Yes. So in terms of the kind of life skills that we are trying to promote and enhance their life skills, so that once they are out of this so-called institutions, and when they are supposed to, they are
on their own after 18 years.
After 18
so
years.
unless we give them this kind of a thing, that's why we have children's committees in the child care institutions where they can voice out what they want. So everything creating a leadership quality. Because after 18, it's not a state responsibilities. Maybe up to 21, it is there.
Correct.
But the child also has to give his part or her part.
Right.
Then the child has to be given that opportunity to grow well.
Of course, at the end, the child has to be. The child is no more a child; he or she becomes an adult and become an independent person.
Yes.
And that is the challenge, that how we are making that child face the reality in the society to take the go leaps and bounds and face the world. Yeah. So that also talks about the career options, the job opportunities. So how one can be prepared in the process of the child being in the institution, the kind of skills that one has to plan, and as you rightly said. So all this put together, we see it is not that easy as it is said. And rightly you said, one has to hear to the voices of the children.
Exactly.
And also this participation, which has made very important as a principle, and that can really reduce these kind of misunderstandings, or probably the gaps that has created, and this fissure between the environment where the child is unable to communicate to his or her own parents, and from the parents' perspective also unable to understand or accept. They forget, as a parents, we forget that we were also once gone through the same kind of situations, and somewhere or other, sooner the better, I think. We have to understand and become more participatory in nature, and listen to them, And that is the need of the hour, actually. That is what today's discussion we were also talking about, whether children's voices are heard. And I would really thank Vaidehi Subramani ji for putting all this complex, although it looks very simple, but the kind of complexity is there within each issues, and especially when we are dealing with the children. So I really appreciate your case study approach, how you have explained each of these aspects, and also touching upon various institutions, act, and how we can make this more effective in future. So I thank the viewers for being part of this session, and also the expert for today's session. Thank you.
Thank you.